This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning. Welcome back. It's a Monday. I'm Ray Collins. Jacqueline's off today. And John Skulls, he's also off. So in place, Josh Stone comes from the bullpen. Good morning, Josh.
Hey, good morning, Ray. Well, it's another manic Monday, but we're going to make the most out of it today.
The Bangles sang that song, right?
The Bangles, that's right.
Manic Monday, back in the 80s.
The old girls band back in the 80s. Good stuff. Anyway, let's check out the current temperature right now. It's pretty comfortable, but a little muggy when you walk out the door. Temperature is 76, so depending on where you are, some temperatures a little warmer than that, but still fair conditions. Dew point at 73, humidity at 91%, so yeah, a little muggy. It's going to be one of those days, but we are in the summertime of Florida, so we can expect that. A few showers out in the Gulf off the coast of the Suncoast, but as we go through the day with the heating of the day, we're going to have some instability that will cause more clouds, and then showers and storms will get going. But you know what, Ray? Something is looking very interesting here in the tropics, and we're going to talk about it when we return.
All right, heck of a tease. Thank you, Josh. Talk to you again soon. We got some buildup already in Manatee County. First off, you see from Palmetto into Bradenton, issue there. Also, State Road 70 in both directions, just east of 301. Farther south, we see a problem there at Bee Ridge in the northbound lane as you head up toward Weber and Siesta Drive. Otherwise, not too bad. In the South County, all clear at 5:02 on your Monday morning. Topping our news, we're learning more about a large house fire that killed a Venice man and injured 2 sheriff deputies. No name released yet, but it's believed it was a man who lived alone in the house. Our Erica Jackson has local reaction.
What started as clouds of smoke quickly turned into large flames, engulfing this Venice home.
I smelt the smoke. I heard the scream and I knew something was going up.
Lifetime Venice resident Brian Cavigliano says he was outside his home just after midnight on Saturday when he heard banging and screams coming from 1 block east. Cavigliano took action to save his neighbor inside the burning home.
After I used about 50 pounds of extinguisher powder, I saw that it wasn't doing nothing and it got up in the rafters, and I knew about at that time it was just too big to take on.
Another neighbor with firefighter training tried crawling to the victim inside the home. While he also heard the screams, he couldn't reach the man. Cavigliano says his role as a lead fire service technician at Alliance Fire and Safety gave him the tools and knowledge to help save the homeowner. But the growing smoke created challenges.
My main concern was getting all the older people that was trying to help away from the house so nobody would else get hurt.
When Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies and firefighters finally arrived to the 3-alarm fire, they were also unable to reach the man. 2 deputies were later transported to an area hospital for smoke inhalation and carbon monoxide exposure, but were released later that morning.
They were only in about 3 feet, and they even backed up. The fire just got huge, real fast.
Cavigliano says he wouldn't hesitate to run toward another burning building to try and save a neighbor, but adds it can sometimes do more harm than good.
Never throw yourself in the way of a fire or that kind of smoke, because you're just going to cause more troubles for the firefighters and police to do their job.
The State Fire Marshal's office is helping Sarasota County officials with the investigation. Reporting in Venice, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
I-75 is back open after a serious crash in Manatee County shut down northbound lanes for several hours yesterday. 2 lanes are now back open between State Road 70 and State Road 64. Look at that traffic. FHP says there were several people ejected from vehicles and one was flown for treatment. All 3 lanes were blocked at one point. The lanes are back open this morning. And troopers are on the lookout for the driver of a vehicle involved in a hit-and-run crash that sent a bicyclist to the hospital. FHP responded to a collision at the intersection of Whitfield Avenue and 15th Street East in Bradenton Saturday night. A vehicle hit a young Sarasota man on a bike and then drove away. 2 witnesses described the car as an older white or silver Ford Taurus that now has damage to its windshield. No word yet on the biker's condition. If you can help, call FHP at the number that you just saw on your screen. The end of an era for an iconic nightclub in Sarasota. The 5 O'Clock Club played its final shows under its longtime owner, George Generoso bought the club 20 years ago. It became the place to be for live music featuring local musicians and some big name ones too. The late Greg Allman played there. Also AC/DC's Brian Johnson also took the stage over the years. Well, the bar was overflowing in the early hours on Saturday. Many coming to thank the man who built up the club over the years.
The end of 5-0 as we know it is not the end of George Generoso as we know him. He's just an amazing person.
To say goodbye to George, to say goodbye to the club, to see our friends, the musicians, one last time.
I think the biggest and the most heartfelt thing that I had was that all the musicians came and thanked me. Thought that was something special.
It's a nice tribute. The club's actually been around since 1955. He bought it 20 years ago. No word what happens next to that facility on Hillview, just south of the hospital. An investigation continues in eastern Manatee County where a home invasion left a man dead and his neighbors in shock. Our Dwayne Lindo has a closer look.
When deputies responded to a burglary in progress at the home about 50 yards behind me. The cause of death is not being released at this time, but they are calling it a homicide.
On a remote street in East Manatee County, a home invasion, leaving 54-year-old Dwayne Hutchinson dead in an upstairs bedroom. When deputies initially arrived on scene, they discovered Hutchinson's wife, who was also a victim, who told them two males entered the home and confronted her. She was transported to a local hospital and later released with no injuries. One neighbor who was afraid to reveal her identity says she was shocked when she heard the incident took place and also says she didn't hear anything when it occurred.
Not a thing, and I live a few hundred yards away and I have several dogs and never heard a peep out of them, never heard anything.
In the years she lived on the street, it was the first time anything like this has happened.
Not to my knowledge. My other neighbor said that the house down the street was broken into, but beyond that, I haven't heard of anything going on.
And not terribly afraid of anything like this happening again.
I mean, do you feel safe now?
Well, me and my 45, yeah.
Nearby residents taking the necessary precautions while the sheriff's office is still investigating the incident. Reporting in East Manatee County, Dwayne Lindo, your Suncoast News.
Friends and loved ones took time over the weekend to honor two young men killed in a car crash near Englewood. Hundreds gathered at Lemon Bay High School Saturday for the memorial service of 21-year-old Austin Hershey, who died in a car crash last weekend, along with three other men. Services for Dustin Strong took place Friday evening. Services are being planned still for Keith Williams and Billy Solomon. The men were killed when the car they were in ran a stop sign and smashed into an SUV. Now the family in that SUV survived with just minor injuries. An update now on the alligator that attacked a man at a pond in the Rotunda Golf and Country Club in Charlotte County. We are now hearing from the man who was bitten in the left arm, who is now in stable condition in Lee County. Scott Lahodik is a worker at the golf course. He says he was clearing golf balls in the pond and the course when a 10-foot gator suddenly attacked him.
When he initially attacked me and shook his head, I mean, he moved my whole body with him. He rolled, so I kind of played dead and rolled with him, and then the thought came to me to start punching him.
Lahodik says he did all he could do, and officials say he did the right thing. If you're ever attacked by a gator, going after the gator's eyes or nose is the best way to get a hold of the situation. Easier said than done. 5:09 right now. A drug addiction conference in Manatee County has wrapped up, leaving those in attendance with a better hope for the future. The Resonant Life Church in Bradenton held their first ever Freedom Conference on Saturday, lending support to those dealing with the opioid issue in the country. The event featured several guest speakers sharing their own stories of addiction.
When I came home from that program, I had this urgency in my heart to help the community and help those that were struggling like I was.
My uncle was a huge part of my life. I didn't have a dad growing up, and seeing him go for 20 years using to getting sober and what God did in his life, I wanted that.
Florida has been highly publicized in this national epidemic, according to a report by state medical examiners. In fact, opioids, mostly heroin and fentanyl, killed an average of 14 people a day in Florida during the first half of 2016. Local first responders got a moment of recognition over the weekend in Bradenton. Boast Volkswagen on 14th Street East held a cook-off for law enforcement, military, firefighters, and EMT workers as a reminder that we appreciate the work they do every day.
They're the ones who are running into the emergency, and we're the ones running out of it. You know, it takes a special kind of person, special human being to be able to do that and to serve like that. So today, all we wanted to do was thank them for their service, thank them for what they do, and appreciate them.
This was the first event of its type done by the dealership. And an annual charity fundraiser brought out some celebrity guests at Lakewood Ranch on Sunday. Originally founded as a fundraiser, a young woman suffering from a brain aneurysm, Samantha's Friends, has since expanded within the community to benefit handicapped victims with the assistance of a highly trained service canine. This nonprofit partnering with the Southeastern Guide Dogs to help people take back their independence in the community.
Trying to figure out a way to get people to come, and that's how we got our soap opera actors to come, and we figured fans would follow. We'd like to get more of the local community involved, especially now that we have Southeastern Guide Dogs, which is just an awesome organization.
And the event featured appearances by some big names in the soap opera world, like from Days of Our Lives, Walt Willey and Rachel Melvin and Martha Madison and Christopher Sean, to name a few. Some of the items included scripts that were auctioned off, an evening gown, and dinner dates with the cast. Very nice. And if you have any good pictures from your weekend events, you can send them this way to our Facebook page at ABC7. We also have an individual addresses now for each of us. You can write to us individually, Ray Collins, ABC7, also Jacqueline Matter, ABC7, and John Scalzi, ABC7, all on the Facebook page. Now, our own Matinee Idol joins us now with details of the forecast for the week. Hey?
I like that, Matinee Idol.
I thought you'd like that, sure.
Right, very
well,
good.
You wrote it. I can read your writing, fine.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Yeah, the forecast, another typical Florida day. But what really looks interesting is what's happening in the Atlantic right now. Yeah, tropicals, you know, we're in the hurricane season, so anything that flares up, we pay very close attention to. And this next one looks very interesting.
Oh, boy.
Maybe tracking, well, closer to us. We'll talk about it when we come back.
All right, also still ahead, we'll talk with a Suncoast Gold Star mother who received a special gift over the weekend in memory of her fallen son. And later in the hour, the latest on President Trump's ties to Russia as news comes out of a meeting between one of his sons and a Russian lawyer. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
It's fine that other people like you. It's more important that you like yourself. And I'm comfortable with every part of me. Meals on Wheels coming to my door as someone who's housebound assures me that I'm not forgotten. They care that I'm okay. My name is Asha Ida Bell. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Explore amazing merchants on the Suncoast. Find great prices, products, and services. Go to mysuncoast.com to buy local today.
Hey, good morning. Happy Monday. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi. Today, you're walking outside to this temperature, 76 in Sarasota, 77 for you in Venice. Good morning. 76 in Northport, 76 in Arcadia, 77 in Lake Placid, Sebring, and Avon Park at this hour. It's 78 in Inglewood. So it's muggy, mid to upper 70s right now. Weather headlines. Another typical day for us, partly cloudy skies here, becoming mostly cloudy in the afternoon, chance for scattered showers and storms. But the big story eventually will probably be what's happening in the tropics. We're watching a tropical wave that looks very impressive, at least for the long-range computer forecasting models, and we'll talk about that in just a few moments. Looking at the radar right now, it's quiet along the Suncoast. Off the coast here, we do have a few showers taking place. Maybe some strikes of lightning there, but those are well off the coast. And again, with the heating of the day, we're going to have more instability in the atmosphere. A few clouds develop, and then we'll have a chance for those showers and storms to get going later this afternoon with that sea breeze convergence. Closer look at these showers just offshore here. Maybe there's no lightning strikes right now, but they're still producing some moderate to heavy rainfall just offshore of the Suncoast. A little bit of moisture mid to upper levels of the atmosphere, so above us, and looks like we're going to have good chance for some rain later this afternoon. The big picture, kind of a nasty looking storm tracking in around the Chicagoland area. That's causing about a 30-minute delay, ground stoppage at Chicago O'Hare International Airport. So if you're flying in that direction, expect a delay. The other thing on the map is this. This is actually a hurricane, Hurricane Eugene here in the Pacific Ocean. It's a Category 2 storm, but that's moving out to the open waters here in the cooler waters. Probably will dissipate in a few days. But now, let's show you the current temperatures around the lower 48. 69 in Minneapolis, 80 in St. Louis, 76 in Sarasota, as we showed you earlier, 82 in Salt Lake City, and of course another very comfortable 94 degrees here in Phoenix. Remember, they're 3 hours behind us right now, in the wee hours of the morning for them. Okay, let's talk about the tropics. Something really interesting developing here. It's a tropical wave, just a disturbance, not a big deal, not even organized, just a few cluster of disorganized thunderstorms off the Cape Verde Islands here. Very far away from us. But the long-range computer forecasting models have been kind of all over the place with this. And I'm talking about maybe a 400 to 500 spread, which direction this little disturbance may go. Could go up to the Carolinas, could go into Belize, Mexico. However, the last several runs of our forecasting models take this little tropical disturbance and brings it right to about here, and eventually going in that direction. So we're going to have to watch this very closely as this gets organized. But it does look like it will be moving westbound and possibly northwest, so we'll have to watch it closely. There's your forecast. Low 90s for the rest of the week, and a few scattered showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Ray?
All right, Josh, talk to you again soon. Let's check the roads. First off in Manatee County, a little bit of a build-up there on State Road 70 heading westbound toward 301, otherwise pretty clear. Farther south, all clear now in Sarasota County, and that includes South County. No problems at 520 on your Monday morning. Back in 2004, the first soldier killed in Iraq from Manatee County was named Christopher Cobb. Over this past weekend, a Good Samaritan honored him and his mother. Our Adam Cellini has the story.
He was my #1 son.
Christopher Cobb is all over the living room of his mother Sheila's Manatee County home, but he hasn't sat in that room with her since 2004, the year the 19-year-old former Bayshore High student was killed in Iraq.
It's been 13 years since Chris died, and it's really something that somebody wants to do this to my son.
For no reason other than fate, Chris's story caught the attention of artist Cliff Leonard, a Vietnam veteran who now makes sculptures of Marines for the families they left behind, a passion project that started years ago in his hometown of Jacksonville.
I finished all those and decided I would maybe do all the ones in Florida. So that's what I started doing.
He called Sheila months back, asking for pictures so he could create a statue of Chris.
I just look at these guys as my little brothers, and I would like for their memory to live on as long as possible.
And Saturday, after much anticipation, Sheila and her son were reunited.
Oh my God. It's awesome. That's his nose and everything. Thank you for doing that.
In military dress and fixed in an eyes right salute, Chris Cobb is back home in Manatee County, though his mom says he never really left.
He's in my heart. He'll always be in my heart forever.
Adam Cellini, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
5:21 right now, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. We have your guide to one of the biggest online shopping events of the year. And next half hour at 5:38, we'll tell you about Moat Marine's results of the local Lionfish Derby coming up.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Seen some sheet lightning this morning in the background there. Just caught it right there. Good call. Our producer saw that. Zach saw that. Sure enough, some sheet lightning along the horizon in Sarasota this morning. We'll have forecast from Josh Stone in a few minutes. 5:24 now. And the countdown is on this morning to the start of a big sale on the internet. ABC's Diane Macedo and Candace Gibson have details of tonight's Amazon Prime Day and more in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, gearing up for Amazon's third Prime Day.
It starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Time and runs until 3 a.m. on Wednesday. So Prime Day is actually 30 hours. The online retailer is promising discounts on hundreds of thousands of items, everything from speakers and printers and gummy bears.
Yum. You can also go to Amazon's website, but the company recommends using the app. Deals will be posted there 24 hours in advance, and you can even set an alert for when an offer begins.
And you can also use Amazon's Alexa virtual assistant. Alexa will give you access to deals 2 hours before anyone else. Well, Amazon says that new deals will be offered every 5 minutes, and they may only be available for a limited time. So if you haven't already joined Prime, do it now before the sales start.
All right, those are your Tech Bites.
Have a great day.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Lyrica.
Before fibromyalgia, I was a doer.
I was active. Then the chronic widespread pain drained my energy. My doctor said moving more helps ease fibromyalgia pain. She also prescribed Lyrica.
Fibromyalgia is thought to be the result of overactive nerves. Lyrica is believed to calm these nerves.
For some, Lyrica can significantly relieve fibromyalgia pain and improve function, so I feel better.
Lyrica may cause serious allergic reactions or suicidal thoughts or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these, new or worsening depression or unusual changes in mood or behavior, or swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or blurry vision. Common side effects are dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, and swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who have had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
With less pain, I can be more active.
Ask your doctor about Lyrica.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with 1 telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Start your day with a new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. on ABC 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
In Suncoast, an acrobat falls to his death during a show in Spain. An American band was on stage at the time and didn't realize what had happened. It's back to court for over a dozen frat brothers at Penn State. A judge must decide if the case can go forward in the wake of a 19-year-old's death inside that frat house. And a music festival in the Florida Keys like no other. This one was underwater. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
live from the ABC 7 studios. This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Pretty shot of the downtown skyline. The lights twinkling there in the distance. Oh, there's some sheet lightning again. It might be a good indication of today's forecast. We'll check on that in just a second here. Good morning, welcome back. I'm Ray Collins. Jacqueline's back tomorrow. John Scalzi is also off today. Not sure when he's coming back, actually. We changed the door code. Might have caused an issue with that.
Right.
So Josh Stone is here. And this is really a weekend of, I thought, Josh, a lot of isolated showers. It poured in Sarasota, but not in Bradenton, and vice versa. So typical of Florida.
And I talked to Bob Harrigan yesterday. He was playing golf, and he said he split the storms so he could get his golf game in. One went north, one went south. It all opened up for him. He was able to get his golf game in.
He's that powerful to split the storms?
He's got that power, yeah. I'm working on it. But
you got to work someplace for 30 years first, then you have that kind of ability.
It's all in the clicker, I think.
Oh, is that what it is?
His fingerprints are all over these buttons.
Oh, I get it
so
now.
there you
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, it's a little warm and muggy when you walk outside. It's in the mid to upper 70s as you walk outside right now. Current temperature in Sarasota, 76 also in Bradenton, 78, a little warmer there, down in Venice. All right, the radar shows some scattered showers and thunderstorms just off the coast in the Gulf of Mexico, but nothing on land. But that will change by later this afternoon. Highs topping out in the low 90s with a few storms later today. Back to you.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, Josh. A little build up there at a particular intersection in Manatee County. You'll see there's a lot of excitement there at State Road 70 heading westbound and also 301 northbound. No word as to why there's a problem there already this morning. Sarasota County checking pretty clear at this hour of the day, and also the South County map will indicate really no problems at 5:32 on your Monday morning. Topping our news this half hour, learning more about a meeting last year between the president's son and a lawyer with connections to the Kremlin. ABC's Janae Norman has the story.
Russian President Vladimir Putin dominating headlines and the president's Twitter timeline. Overnight, President Donald Trump backtracking on a discussion with the Kremlin, writing, "The fact that President Putin and I discussed a cybersecurity unit doesn't mean I think it can happen. It can't."
We might as well just mail our ballot boxes to Moscow. I don't think that's an answer at all.
When it comes to Russia, he's got a blind spot, and to forgive and forget when it comes to Putin regarding cyber attacks is to empower Putin.
The idea outraging the president's own party as another bombshell makes waves. Trump's inner circle saying they met with a Russian lawyer with ties to the Kremlin last summer after Trump clinched the Republican nomination. Don Jr. revealing in a statement, "I was asked to have a meeting with an acquaintance who I was told might have information helpful to the campaign." And the person, quote, stated that she had information that individuals connected to Russia were supporting Mrs. Clinton. He says when it became clear the attorney had no meaningful information, the meeting ended. Though the White House chief of staff on Fox News Sunday painted a different picture of the same meeting.
There's a meeting apparently about Russian adoption. And after about 20 minutes, the meeting ended, and that was the end of it.
President Trump's outside legal team said in a statement the president did not attend the meeting and was not aware of it. Don Jr.'s statement appears to be the first public indication that members of the Trump team were willing to accept help from Russians. And this comes amid mixed messages from the White House over whether the president accepted Putin's denial of interfering in the election. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Overseas in Spain, an investigation is underway after a horrific tragedy. An acrobat plunged to his death during Madrid's largest music festival. Acrobat Pedro Monroy was dancing midair in a light box when he suddenly dropped 100 feet. To make matters worse, after the accident, the concert didn't stop. The band Green Day was on stage, unaware of the tragedy that just happened. The band tweeted afterwards, "We just got off the stage at Mad Cool Festival to some disturbing news. A very brave artist named Pedro lost his life in a tragic accident." Organizers of the event say they didn't stop the show, deeming it unsafe to have a large mass of people moving all at once. The investigation as to what caused his death is still ongoing. Back in this country, almost 50 Florida firefighters are out west now as several states experience temperatures in the triple digits, fueling more than 40 major wildfires from California to Montana. In California alone, more than 3,000 people are on the front lines of a blaze in a battle on the ground and in the sky. A blistering heat wave in Los Angeles, breaking a 131-year-old record. While in many states, the fires and temperatures aren't the only concern.
In addition to the fire, people will then, of course, be facing a power outage with the high heat. That can be a recipe for disaster itself.
41 firefighters from Florida flew to Salt Lake City over the weekend alongside 3 additional crews from Puerto Rico and Georgia. Happening today in Pennsylvania, 18 former Penn State frat brothers will be in court facing charges in the death of a sophomore pledge. 19-year-old Timothy Piazza died in February after falling headfirst down the stairs in the frat house during an alcohol-fueled hazing ritual. The fraternity brothers are accused of waiting nearly 12 hours before calling for help. A key piece of evidence in this case, surveillance video from inside the house. Prosecutors already showing parts of that video in open court.
That footage is gruesome. It is remarkably barbaric what was done to this young man, and they made a decision that they were not going to see that particular footage.
I don't see how anybody, Joey M's in particular, could be charged with the knowledge that this was anything more than a frat brother who had too much to drink.
A judge is expected to decide whether there is enough evidence for this case to go to trial today. In Texas, a convict is back behind bars today after his second escape from a South Carolina prison, and the tools he used in his breakout may have been delivered by a drone. U.S. Marshals say Jimmy Causey escaped on July 4th, armed with a pistol, shotgun, ammunition, cell phone, and nearly $50,000. Investigators believe that a drone dropped wire cutters for Causey right in the prison yard.
This could have been a catastrophic result because of cell phones and drones, and it's a simple fix.
As long as cell phones continue to be utilized by inmates in prisons, we're going to have very well-planned escapes.
The maximum security prison breakout was not the first for the felon who's serving 5 life sentences for kidnapping, robbery, and burglary. Prison officials say drones delivering contraband is now on the rise nationwide. Now they're demanding that the federal officials allow them to jam cell phone signals to prevent future breakouts like this one from ever happening again. 5:37 right now. Overseas, U.S.-backed forces say they're making key gains against ISIS in Iraq. In fact, the country's prime minister in Iraq says they've reclaimed the city of Mosul. ABC's Mark Remillard has the story.
Celebrations in the streets of Mosul, crowds waving the red, white, and black flag of Iraq, claiming a long-awaited win against ISIS. It was hard-fought down to the final hours. During the day, airstrikes and the sound of gunfire crackling as families climb through mountains of debris, trying to get to safety. Mothers carrying infants, helping older children through the rubble, fleeing areas long held under siege by the Islamic State. Then, this moment, Iraqi special forces planting the country's flag on the bank of the Tigris River. Troops grabbing the infamous black flag of ISIS and hanging it upside down, a symbol of their triumph over the IS. The Iraqi prime minister traveled to Iraq's second largest city to congratulate his fighters. The operation to retake Mosul, backed by the U.S.-led coalition, began in October. Despite some small holdouts in the old city, ISIS fighters have been pushed out of the area. Mosul's loss, just the latest major setback for the terror group. Mark Remillard, ABC News, New York.
Another Middle Eastern airline has joined the list of surrounding countries lifting their ban on laptops aboard U.S.-bound flights. Royal Jordanian saying that they have implemented enhanced security measures in line with Homeland Security requirements. Back in March, the U.S. imposed a ban on laptops in airplane cabins on direct U.S.-bound flights from 10 cities in the Middle East and Turkey over concerned Islamic State fighters and other extremists. They're concerned that those extremists could hide bombs inside the laptops. Back in Florida now, 2 people are recovering this morning after the amphibious plane they were flying crashed onto a lake near Daytona Beach. A boater told a 911 dispatcher he saw the plane come in for a landing on the lake before it flipped over. The plane's 2 passengers wound up hanging onto the side of that boat. The victims were transported to the hospital with facial and head injuries, and now the NTSB and the FAA are investigating that accident. Now, some sad news out of Orlando. A newborn beluga whale has died at the SeaWorld theme park. Shortly after the whale was born, SeaWorld staff noticed the calf was unusually weak, surfacing briefly before it died. Attempts by the animal care teams to revive the whale were unsuccessful. SeaWorld Orlando is currently investigating the cause of its death. The spread of canine flu has dog owners on alert, and Ocala Park temporarily closed due to a rising concern. Officials said the virus is rarely fatal, but highly contagious, and any exposure will likely cause infection. Veterinarians at the University of Florida currently have 21 infected dogs in their care. So far, the outbreak is focused on the northern and central parts of Florida and still has not turned up on the Suncoast. About 400 divers and snorkelers were in the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary for an underwater music festival over the weekend. The festival is at Lou Key Reef along the world's third largest living coral barrier reef. It featured hours of aquatic-focused music with the idea of event to advocate for more reef preservation. Some of the music included the theme from The Little Mermaid, also the Beatles' Octopus's Garden, I would think Yellow Submarine too, and even the Jaws theme might have scared some of those taking part. The music was transmitted through waterproof speakers that actually dangled from the boats. And we have the results now of Mote Marine's Lionfish Derby. They show that the number of invasive fish pulled from the Gulf is double last year's count. 15 teams went out this year, capturing 1,079 lionfish. That's the largest in a while. The biggest one measured in at nearly 1.5 feet long. For those who have taken part in the past, the turnout compared to prior years is exciting and a good sign that people are in the area are excited about being more aware of the threat lionfish pose on the local ecosystem.
We only had one team, and they showed up with 257 lionfish. And every year we've been getting a little more and more. So 15 teams participating today in the Sarasota Lionfish Derby is huge.
And once the weigh-in was over, the next part began. Local chefs cooking up the spoils for a sold-out tasting. The winner of that tasting, by the way, was Chef Steve Phelps, who you might have seen on our Suncoast View program in the past. That's a funny thing. It's sort of a two-pronged thing. Good way to go out and have some fun and also help the ecosystem. Removing the lionfish.
You're not lying about that, I guess. Yeah.
Did you practice that all morning?
Not all morning, but maybe about 5 seconds before
good for you.
Wrapped up the story. But
well done, yes.
Anyway, yeah, something fishy is brewing, though, in the tropics. We'll have to watch that pretty closely. But as far as our forecast today on this Monday here in Florida, it's a typical summertime pattern.
Don't tell me. Chance of afternoon showers.
No, I won't tell you. You can tell me. Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Pretty much.
Scattered showers, hit and miss. One block has rain, the next block doesn't. Am I close?
Meteorologist Ray Collins.
No, you're the expert here. All right, talk to you soon. Also, still ahead, is chocolate beneficial to your brain? That'd be nice. We'll discuss how something sweet in your diet could help you over time. Up next in Health Smart.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Florida's coral reefs are declining. Bad news for our oceans and marine life. Fortunately, you can help, and you don't have to dive, you just have to drive. When you purchase Moat's Protect Our Reefs license plate, $25 goes directly to Moat Marine Laboratory, whose research, restoration, and conservation programs are helping this precious natural resource thrive once again. So get your Moat Protect Our Reefs license plate today. You just might hold the key to saving Florida's reefs.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here, because
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds. No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
My name is Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Well, good morning. Good to see you. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi. He's off today. Walking out to temperatures like this, mid to upper 70s at this hour, so a little muggy. As far as the radar goes, a few showers and even some strikes of lightning out here on the Gulf of Mexico with these little cells, but nothing severe or anything like that. But as we go through the day, we'll have some more shower activity that develops this afternoon. Mid to upper level moisture is in place, so we'll have a good round of shower activity later today. Speaking of shower activity and storms, there's something what we call an MCC, kind of a fancy meteorology term, a mesoscale convective complex. Just means basically a cluster of storms tracking through the Chicago area, causing some delays here at O'Hare Airport, maybe about a 30-minute delay or so. So if you're flying in that direction, just expect to be a little delayed. Now, watching the tropics, there's something interesting. National Hurricane Center has now depicted a disturbance here in the eastern Atlantic, and this potentially could gain strength as it tracks westward. Where is it going to go? Well, the model runs, at least over the last several days, some have it going to the northwest, some have it going directly west. That's like a 400 or 500 mile spread. But lately, over the last few runs, the models are taking it west and then bank this thing up to the northwest. And you know where we're located, right here. So we're going to have to watch this very closely, and it does look like this could gain strength and become stronger than what it is now. So, not blowing the whistle on this yet, but still, we just have to watch it very closely. All right, looking at the tides today, the low tide will be at 7:24 a.m., the high tide at 1:09 this afternoon, sunset at 8:28 this evening. Taking the boat out, southeasterly winds becoming southwest this afternoon at 5 to 10 knots, seas at 1 to 2 feet with a light chop in the bays. And your high today, it's going to be warm and muggy, 91 degrees. Just watch out for those scattered storms later on this afternoon. Your forecast looks like this, much of the same for the next several days, with Our temperatures in the lower 90s and a few scattered storms in the afternoon, but the rain chance does ramp up as we get into the end of the work week, into the weekend. Ray?
Good timing. Thank you, Josh. Here's the roads right now. First off, in Manatee County, not too much to speak of. We did have some earlier buildups on 70 and 301. Those have since dissipated. We do see some issues there on 41 northbound as you drive north from Bee Ridge and head towards Siesta Drive by the post office there in Weber. Also down by the Bayfront, a little bit of a smidge there at the 41-301 split. Otherwise pretty clear. In South County, nothing much to speak of at 5:50 on your Monday morning. In this morning's Health Smart, recent findings published in the Frontiers in Nutrition. That sounds nice. It shows that higher levels of chocolate in your diet may help your long-term thinking. I think I like that. It's been shown to enhance working memory performance and improve visual information processing. And here's also a subplot. As for women, eating chocolate after a night of no sleep actually counteracted the cognitive impairment that such a night brings about. This is how they report it, which is promising for those who suffer from conditions like chronic sleep deprivation. That means if you don't sleep well, have some chocolate, and it could help your cause. All good news. Still ahead, we'll update the day's top local news headlines. And don't be surprised to see more battery-powered cars on the streets. We'll tell you about Tesla marking down prices after this.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone.
Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View, the latest on construction projects from our development expert, plus natural solutions for storm stress and Simply Gourmet Catering. Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Pretty shot of the downtown skyline. The lights twinkling there on Lemon stoplights, I believe. No, not more than stoplights. No sirens, I hope. Welcome back. 5:54 on your Monday morning. Here are the top local headlines as you wake up this morning. An investigation is underway in Venice after this house fire killed a man inside. It also injured 2 sheriff deputies. No names released yet, but it's believed it was a man who lived alone in that house. A golf course worker from Englewood who was bitten by an alligator while on the job is now talking from his hospital bed in Fort Myers. He says he actually struck the gator on the head to fend it off, as experts say you should do. And an end of an era on Hillview in Sarasota. The 5 o'clock club closed over the weekend. It was a top spot for live music in the area. No word yet what will happen next at that spot on Hillview. And finally, a sneak peek of Tesla's much anticipated Model 3 electric vehicle. Here's a photo of the first Model 3 to roll off the production line in Fremont, California. It is expected to be a more affordable version of the luxury Model S. If you want, you might have to wait a while, though, to get one. Only 30 sedans will be available to the public by the end of this month. More than 380,000 people have already paid a $1,000 deposit to own a Model 3. Tesla is expected to ramp up production and make 20,000 vehicles per month by December.
Wow.
Battery powered. The future is here.
And you know, Apple is probably going to come out with their car in a few years.
That's right. That's in the works too, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's going to be battery powered as well.
Electric cars.
Wave of the future.
All kinds of parking spots in Sarasota go empty. They said only battery-powered cars here.
Oh, there you go.
They'll be filled up soon.
That's right.
All right, more on Josh's forecast and more local news headlines after this. Thanks for watching Good Morning Suncoast.